Hello, this is the first time I have recorded anything here live like this on Substack. Um, I am in the weirdest phase of my life ever. I always generally try to avoid being very emotional on camera. That's not. Didn't expect that to happen. I'm sitting here with my mint tea. I'm in a strange chapter. I've just started chemotherapy for lymphoma, and it's my dad's funeral tomorrow because I had the diagnosis and his death in the same week. He had dementia. He was an amazing man, and I think what I really have learned through this time is that we hold ourselves back so much because of the love that we have for people that are unwell, but also because we fear so much in terms of what we're capable of. And I know that there's a lot of eye rolling emotion, and genuinely, I genuinely never. I'm very composed always on all the content I put out because it's always quite attempts to be kind of spurring or motivating or encouraging you or kind of pleading at times to be like, you have so much power in your life to make incredible change. But there's always, of course, these incredibly difficult times that we have to navigate. And I have overcome a lot of things in my life, whether that's an eating disorder, anorexia as a teenager, depression and divorce that nearly killed me a decade ago. And then understanding underneath all of this, ADHD and neurodiversity, and finding that out in 2024. Alongside becoming a mum and getting the diagnosis because of becoming a mum, and how trying to run my business and just it all becoming untenable because of energy and focus challenges and emotional regulation and anger that I felt, pure rage that I hadn't felt for a very, very long period of time, like not since I was a teenager. And then overcoming burnout and not just from not having boundaries, but from trying to create in a way that I think made sense to build a financial stable future for myself, because I was so worried about not having financial independence due to the fact that after my divorce I had to go back and live with my parents. And then alongside all of this, a couple of years ago, my dad's health started declining. And he was a hugely enigmatic man, a hugely intelligent man who really drove for awareness around depression and stress and how unique we all are. He was incredibly ahead of his time. And I think his death has reignited this realization of how we can hold back from our own intelligence, and especially in the world, as it has been the last couple of years, navigating the grief of what we see play out in our screens. And it's interesting because obviously with what's going on in America, people are feeling that closer to home, and so more and more people are speaking out. But there are many of us who have not only balanced all of this for decades, probably even longer than I have. But for me, the news in Israel and Gaza in October in 2023, on the 7th of October, that really erupted and triggered grief in me that I hadn't experienced since my divorce. And it's been this incredibly challenging, strange, weird time of holding back for fear of taking from people that are in pain and suffering, and almost staying small because of it, because of shame of privilege or shame of, well, I should be happy with what I have, and then being like, but I'm actually also deeply frustrated in this flat that feels too small and we're contained, and holding back from then, I guess, earning the money that I'm capable of earning. And the reason I share all of this is that, when I launched many things in my time, when I launched Club Thrive, which is the kind of membership, well, it is the membership I have, and what my podcast is currently called, Club Thrive, the podcast. It was out of a place of an evolution of Sterling Fit, the online fitness company that I ran during the pandemic, because a lot of these things stems from the pandemic, doesn't it? Like this stemming of time and our response to life as it happens. But sometimes when we do that, we're very reactive and we don't get the chance to actually slow down enough to breathe and to soften into our bodies and to understand what it is that we really want. And underneath all of that often is lots of fear. And when I fell pregnant, I was about to go on tour as an actor. I just sold my fitness company, an outdoor group fitness company. I'd sold my half of it to my partner at the time, to my business partner, not my actual partner, he's different, to my business partner who took over running that. And literally that same week I got a job to go on tour. Dream, having gone to drama school. Marriage had ended after drama school. So much baggage in relation to that, and how we then hold back in fear of causing pain, or not even that, but just losing ourselves, I guess, a bit, or feeling like something negative has happened out of something that we love, and then not wanting to relive that experience. And then I found out I was pregnant, about to go on this tour, and that was all going to be fine. But then the tour got cancelled due to COVID. So I shifted and did an online fitness program. But the reason I share all of this is that, in that shift into motherhood, I thought I was the one that had to probably hold the fort at home. I'm in a creative family. My partner is also an actor, and I can't speak on behalf of him, but for me, I, without realizing it, thought, well, I can't be that actor anymore because that's for him to do. And I will be the stay-at-home mum kind of thing, and I will create my business and my work in a way that gets me as much money as possible in as little kind of time as possible, so I can still be there as a parent. And what happens when we think like that is we create from a place of fear and lack in a way, because it's not like it's not from heart or from soul, but it's from a place of control rather than trust. And what I've learned in this whole process, even with my dad's death and this cancer diagnosis, is how the pendulum can swing from, after my divorce, I felt like I didn't want to live anymore. A decade ago, I was in such dark places that I didn't want to live. And then to be sitting in a bath one night, not quite knowing the staging of the cancer that I have, not knowing if it was curable or treatable, to think, but I don't want to die, and I don't want to not see my daughter play her life full out, and I want to be there fully. And, back in September, just before I found a lump in my neck, I had made a choice to no longer feel the guilt for my, so layered, isn't it? Not feel the guilt at the world, or the shame at the world, or the grief at the world, really. And also not feel guilty for having the freedom to create such incredible opportunity for myself, which I have, which we have. So many of us have that. And the reason I do share all of this is that something in me is just always compelled to share the story, because it has always made me feel less alone to know that other people are experiencing things. And it's not for me to say you need to do what I'm doing, it's to say